Welcome back, boys and girls. We are in week 6. This is lesson 4. This week's lesson is lesson 20, comparing and contrasting two texts. Our standard for this week is RI 9, which states combine information from two different texts on the same topic and use the integrated information to write or speak about the topic. Our learning target this week states, looking at how two texts on the same topic are alike and different can give you a better understanding of the topic. Our academic talk words are important points, compare, contrast, key details. So let's review. Remember, to compare tells how texts are alike. To contrast tells how texts are different. Today you're going to read two selections about the same topic. You use what you've learned about comparing and contrasting texts to locate the most important points and key details in the text, which will help you understand the topic better. You're going to read a magazine article and a persuasive essay on your own. And then you're going to use what you have learned to think about and write about the text. As you learn, mark the key details in each text so that you can compare and contrast them. Let's get started. If you will look in the words to know box, which is also called a sidebar, you will see words skeptical and access. Those are two words that are going to be very important in this article, boys and girls. Our first article is called Goodbye Books by Jamie Joyce. Cushing Academy used to have 20,000 books in its library, but over the summer, this small Massachusetts high school began to replace printed books with electronic books or e-books. Why? The school wanted to put its focus on 21st century learning, Tom Corbett, the library's executive director, told TFK. Few students were using library books to do their school assignments. Most did their research online. Transforming the library seemed like the best way to meet students' needs. Without a print collection to care for, Corbett says librarians can now concentrate on helping students use the online collection in new and better ways. They can also work with teachers to bring technology into the classroom. Boys and girls, the next heading says more books, more reading. We know that as we read, we will see titles, sidebars, and headings. Let's keep reading. Teacher Nancy Boyle says her students still enjoy regular books, but they're also testing out the Kindle, an electronic reader. So far, it's been a success. It's great, Boyle told TFK. The kids are reading more. 16-year-old Megan Chinosky was skeptical at first. I love the feeling of books, she told TFK. I really thought I was going to be missing out when I started using a Kindle. But now I absolutely love using it. It's so convenient. You can have so many books right at your fingertips. Our next heading says Meet an e-reader. Can your backpack fit 1,500 books? An e-reader can. Most e-readers are pencil thin and weigh less than a pound. They can download an e-book in 60 seconds. Don't understand the meaning of a word? Click on it to get the definition. Is the print too small? An e-reader can adjust the size. E-readers aren't cheap, but it costs the school just $5 or $10 to download an e-book on as many as 6 e-readers. Now students have access to 1 million titles, Corbett says. Still, regular books have one big advantage over e-readers. They don't use electricity. E-readers have to be charged like cell phones. Boys and girls, we have so many important things that this article gives us. Did you look at all the different important sentences in this text? I certainly hope so, because we're going to need that information later. For instance, what types of text features have the author included? Based on the title and the text features, what do you predict the passage would be about? Let's keep going. Our next article has a sidebar that says, as you read, look inside, around, and beyond these words to figure out what they mean. Our words here will be device and portable. Pay close attention, boys and girls, so that you will point these words out as you read. This article is called E-Readers, No Substitute for Books by Linda Tim. It's a cold, stormy day and lightning has knocked out the power in your neighborhood. No problem. You'll just grab a snack, curl up with a good book, and read for hours. You pull out your e-reader, press the button, and the screen remains dark. The battery is dead. And since there's no electricity, there's no way to charge the device. Guess you're out of luck. Boys and girls, I want you to think about what the author is saying here. Do you think she is in favor of e-readers? This is just one example of how impractical e-readers are. Sure, an e-reader can store thousands of books, but what good is that if you can't use the reader whenever you need to? Running out of power is only one of the issues. E-readers can also break. Drop one and the screen may crack, or the reader may just stop functioning. You have to purchase a new book and a new device. If you drop a printed book, though, you can just pick it up and keep reading. E-readers also make reading itself more difficult. Sentences may break across lines in awkward ways, or one sentence may get stretched across the page, leaving huge spaces between words. It's also hard to find parts you want to reread. Even with search tools, it's difficult to flip back and forth as you would with a printed book. Note-taking can also take longer and be more frustrating. Still, some schools are beginning to buy e-readers for students in place of books. School leaders feel they can get more books for less money that way. But e-readers are expensive, so how much money will schools have to spend to replace readers that students lose or break? Also, one research study showed that some people don't learn as well from e-readers. They don't understand as much, and they don't remember what they read. So, are e-readers really good for students? Sometimes the simplest choice is the best one. Printed books are inexpensive, recyclable, and portable. They are easy to distribute, easy to care for, and easy to replace. And the best part? Printed books will never run out of power. Boys and girls, did you think about my question? Do you think this author is in favor of e-readers? Let's keep going. Use what you learned from reading the passages to respond to these questions. Question number 1. This question has 2 parts. First, answer part A, then answer part B. Part A. Which sentence best describes how the main idea of these 2 passages are different? A. Goodbye Books is about the new library at Cushing Academy, while e-readers, No Substitute for Books, is about a library that uses only printed books. B. Goodbye Books tells how e-readers are good for students in schools, while e-readers, No Substitute for Books tells why e-readers should not replace printed books. C. Goodbye Books explains why printed books are no longer useful, while e-readers, No Substitute for Books explains why printed books are still good. Or D. Goodbye Books is about the low cost of e-readers, while e-readers, no substitute for books, is about the low cost of printed books. Take a few minutes. Which answer best describes how the main idea of these two passages are different? If you chose B, you are correct. Let's look at part B of this same question. Choose one detail from each passage that supports your answer to part A. A. Cushing Academy used to have 20,000 books in its library. B. So far, it's been a success. It's great, Boyle told TFK. The kids are reading more. C. Still, regular books have one big advantage over e-readers. They don't use electricity. D. Sure, an e-reader can store thousands of books. E. Still, some schools are beginning to buy e-readers for students in place of books. F. Also, one research study showed that some people don't learn as well from e-readers. Take a few minutes and think about the best answer choice to support your answer choice in part A. If you chose answer choices B and F, you are correct. These details support the ideas that Goodbye Books shows how e-readers are working in one school, and e-readers is clearly against the use of e-readers instead of printed books. So your answer choices should have been B and F. Number 2. Which two ideas can be found in both passages? E-books are expensive to use. Printed books are inexpensive and recyclable. Few students use library books to do assignments. E-readers can store more than 1,000 books. E-readers can make reading process more difficult. Schools are buying e-readers for student use. Pause the screen to make your answer choices. Remember, you have to choose two answers. That's right. If you chose B and F, you are correct. Both passages say how many books e-readers can store, and both mention the use of e-readers in schools. Number 3, reread the sentences from paragraph 1 of Goodbye Books. Few students were using library books to do their assignments. Most did their research online. Transforming the library seemed like the best way to meet students' needs. Given the context, what does transforming mean? A. Changing. B. Closing. C. Rebuilding. D. Emptying. Pause the screen to make your answer choice. If you said A, changing, you are correct. Boys and girls, we've made it to the end of our video. This is your exit ticket for today. Write an extended response. Explain whether or not schools should use e-readers instead of printed books. Use details from both passages to support your ideas. You're going to decide whether or not schools should use e-readers instead of printed books. After you write your opinion, remember to go back and make sure that you use text evidence, details from both passages to support your ideas. Your exit ticket is directly below this video. Good luck, boys and girls.